Chinese and Russian commanders have conducted a simulation exercise for the ongoing joint military drills codenamed Joint Sea 2017 in the Baltic Sea.
In the hours-long exercise, two tactical assault groups from the Chinese and Russian fleets simulated details of the drills on a map on Sunday. The exercises included ship-to-sea firing by secondary cannons, air defense, joint landing and inspection, maritime search and rescue, underway replenishment, and other subjects. During the drills, the participating air forces and the sea forces will be deployed through unified guidance by a joint directing center, a joint headquarters, and a technical command post. The Joint Sea 2017 drills aim to carry out joint rescue missions and ensure maritime economic activities and will last until July 28th. Chinese and Russian navies will conduct a variety of joint exercises and attend a parade in St. Petersburg on the occasion of Russia's Navy Day.
U.S. experts highlight the progressive cooperation between the U.S. and China in cybersecurity as companies strive for better solutions.
When talking about the cybersecurity issues between China and the U.S., Susan She, chair of the 21st Century China Center of University of California, says the bilateral cooperation evolved since leaders of the two countries met in April.
As far as I know, that's actually been going pretty well. And then we went to the G20 and tried to make that a international norm, and that also has gone pretty well. So I think actually this is a great example of how U.S. and China, through frank negotiation, can address a very difficult topic, make progress, and then move forward.
The U.S. experts also suggest that the IT firms should always stay alert on the possible cyber attack and be intensively prepared to counter any attack.
You have different layers of open security. There is packet encryption capabilities. There is fault tolerance capabilities. There's things that will do with buffering. There's numerous things, very technical actually, but there's a lot of capability that Intel can bring, but there's a lot of third parties out there that will bring that to the table.
Thorsten Held, managing director at White Encryption, Code and Data Protection, emphasizes the importance of web safety for smart devices, including automobiles.
So if somebody, either through a virus or through direct access, trying to modify the application, our system, as you rightly said, there's some kind of alarm system which will recognize there was a modification, unwanted alteration, which can be classified as an attack, and then the app either stops execution.
On Wednesday, the Cyber Readiness Institute was launched as a joint project between the Center for Global Enterprise and the Center for Responsible Enterprise and Trade. The non-profit organization will bring together senior leaders of global companies to discuss best practices for managing security employees, processes, and technology.
Chinese swimmer Sun Yang claimed the men's 400 freestyle title for the third consecutive time at the FINA World Championships in Budapest.
The 26-year-old Sun touched the wall first in 3 minutes and 41.38 seconds, though he was suffering muscle pain on Sunday. The runner-up, Mac Horton, who edged the Sun in 0.13 seconds to grab the Olympic title in Rio last year, was 2.47 seconds behind Sun this time. Sun was confident about his chances of winning the race after 6 laps, as no finalists were close enough to catch up to him. His Australian coach Dennis Cotterell said he was pleased with Sun's performance Sunday evening. Sun is slated to swim the 200 meters freestyle heats in Monday morning. He took the gold in the event at the Rio Olympic Games last year. He is also planning to take part in 800 meters and 1,500 meters freestyle. He has won 3 times in a row in the 800 meters event at the previous Free World Championships. He took home victories in the 1,500 meters at the 2012 Olympic Games and at 2 World Championships.
Now the latest on a Qinghai Lake cycling tour. Polivoda Alexandra from Ukraine's KA cycling team has won the 8th stage.
Stage 7 from Chilean to Mengyuan covers a total distance of 169 kilometers with 2 intermediate sprints and 1 level climb. The highest altitude at the stage is nearly 3,800 meters. Although the route of Stage 7 is relatively flat, raining and low temperature makes the race difficult for riders. Mikhailo Kononenko finished the race with a time of 4 hours, 6 minutes, and 48 seconds. He was excited about this victory. Starting cycling at the age of 19, Kononenko says this is his favorite sport.
It's a great honor for me to win the stage in China. We are a good team. We have been training very hard.
Ukraine's KLS has taken part in Tour of Qinghai Lake for several times. In 2006 Tour of Qinghai Lake, KLS won both individual and group champion. After Stage 7, the jerseys remain the same. Yevgeny Gidichi kept the blue jersey and Orkan Ahmed the green. The yellow jersey is still with Yonata Monsov, while the polka dot jersey remains in the hands of Agata Ramirez. The 8th stage will be held on July the 23rd.
Main tobacco companies of China and Cuba have signed a letter of intent to jointly develop the industry.
The head of the State Tobacco Monopoly Administration signed on Sunday the document, along with authorities from the Cuban company Habanos S.A. Last year, the company saw income of $445 million for the sale of Cuban cigars, a 5% rise from 2015. The agreement establishes the possibilities for the Cuban company to help the Chinese tobacco industry and to expand the presence of the Caribbean cigars in the giant Chinese market.
Cuban tobacco is well recognized in China. It is the supreme form of wisdom and work of Cuban people. With the support of Cuban side, I'm confident that Cuban tobacco will develop well in China.
Currently, the main clients of Cuban cigars are from Spain, France, China, and Germany.
On-demand food delivery is now available for high-speed train passengers in China. Here is how to order.
As of last Monday, 27 major railway stations across China launched a pilot on-demand food delivery service for high-speed trains passing through the stations. Passengers can pre-order food either online or through the China Railway mobile application. Pay through either WeChat or Alipay, and your meal will be delivered straight to your seat. If a train is cancelled or delayed for more than 30 minutes, the order will be cancelled and the passenger will receive a refund. A total of 50 meals per train can be purchased by passengers.
It's very convenient. I just missed the lunchtime when I got on the train and did not bring any food. So it's really great to have food delivery here on the train.
The service is aimed at complementing meals offered by the railway operator, which often receive criticism for low quality and high prices. There are a couple tips. The order must be made 2 hours before the train is scheduled to arrive at the station. An additional delivery fee of 8 RMB or approximately $1.2 needs to be paid. Although the options are limited to participating restaurants in train stations, passengers think it still beats instant noodles, which they usually bring onto the train as meals.
The service is a good beginning and towards the right direction. I hope that there will be more food choices and more participating restaurants in the future.
On-demand food delivery services have been booming in China over the past few years, with the fast-growing express delivery industry and more people embracing mobile phones and mobile payment.
In southern Asian country, Bangladesh, names on a smartphone's bestseller list have saw the entering of some top Chinese brands over the past few years. These brands such as Huawei, Oppo, Xiaomi, and Vivo have closely matched their big brand competitors, clinching top positions in a market share.
Survey shows that there are currently over 130 million phone users in Bangladesh, but only about 30% are with smartphones. However, as 4G services is to be launched in the near future, as the country planned, industry insiders are expecting a jump in smartphone device number. Against such circumstances, top Chinese brands like Huawei give neck-to-neck competition to gain more access to the hot market. where Oppo and Vivo have entered quite a while ago. Meanwhile, Xiaomi is also on the way to capture a sizable market share. Among other Chinese brands, Huawei is considered the first Chinese smartphone maker with a substantial Bangladesh footprint. The research showed that Huawei has moved into the top 3 of the local mobile market in late 2016 for the first time. The Chinese tech giant said the growth was mainly driven by its affordable Y-series smartphones. And it just launched a flagship smartphone in Bangladesh on Sunday. Huawei said it's now eyeing rural markets.
We are now building our infrastructure in Bangladesh. Yes, there is certain level of competition here. Still, we are focusing how to penetrate more in these markets. In terms of what we have invested over the times is about retail and network. We have built our retail network, whereby we are expecting that more smartphone users will be coming in coming years. We are still focusing on the urban area. However, as we are investing our network in the rural areas as well, by coming days we can get some result in rural areas also.
The company now feels the pinch of the competition from other Chinese leading home brands. A Chinese technology company has said it's planning to set up a mobile phone assembly factory in the country to grab a slice of the fast-growing smartphone market.
More news about China. China continues to see improving employment conditions in a second quarter.
According to a survey jointly conducted by China Institute for Employment Research and job hunting website Jobing.com, the index evaluating job market supply and demand grew from 1.91 in quarter 1 to 2.26 in quarter 2. The index above 1 means job supply outweighs demand, while below 1 indicates the opposite. The report attributes the rise to an increase in job offers and drop in job applications. The index for internet and e-commerce sectors remains the highest, while energy, mining, and property industries show improving employment conditions. The online gaming sector posts the strongest demand for professionals in the internet industry due to highly profitable prospects. Employment conditions in China's Rust Belt, the Northeast region, also improved. China's outbound mergers and acquisition, or M&A, rebounded in second quarter, with deal value increasing 148% quarter-on-quarter. Chinese investors returned to the deal table in the April to June period after a lukewarm quarter 1. The industrial sector continues to outrank other sectors, while the consumer and technology sectors also saw significant amounts of outbound investment from China. China's inbound M&A activities continues its upward trajectory, seeing a 29% rise in volume from quarter 1. A significant portion of the inbound investment value went to the technology sector, particularly the e-commerce and software companies.
In New York, Chinese talented young musicians presented a spectacular show at the Carnegie Hall. China Report takes you there for a look.
The National Youth Orchestra of China performed its international debut concert with great success. The concert presented works from the late 19th and early 21st centuries, which integrate folk traditions of their respective countries into symphonic structures. Zhou Long recreates an ancient Chinese drumming style that merged with the later Japanese tradition, bringing both into the concert hall. Tchaikovsky's first piano concerto, one of the most popular virtuoso concertos in the repertory, was performed by Yu Jiawang together with the orchestra.
They are very impressive, and they are technically incredibly capable, and musically it's very enthusiastic, and also they're wonderful people. You know, they're eager to learn, and they just bond together immediately.
Tsai said one of the major challenges for the youth is to learn to cooperate with their teammates, as most of them were soloists before joining the orchestra.
The orchestra performing, it's very different. It needs a collaboration. It need to open their ears more, and need to consider it to be in a teamwork. Yeah, so that is very important for those kids to learn.
Sitting among the audience are some 100 U.S. musicians who summarily have got to rehearse and communicate with their Chinese peers.
If you bring together the most brilliant young musicians in a country, then they all inspire each other, and it lifts standards in the whole country. So that was one part. The next part was really for them to act as international youth ambassadors for their country all around the world.
For thousands of years, people, goods, and culture have flowed between Italy and China on the ancient Silk Road. One man continuing that tradition is an artist who has created a sculpture of one of his heroes.
In 1601, an Italian missionary named Matteo Ricci became the first European to enter Beijing's Forbidden City. As the first Western scholar to study Chinese literature, Matteo Ricci began a path that many have since followed. Dionisio Cimarelli is one of them, who even as a student was fascinated by the East.
China is one of my very old passions. Since I was a student, I was very interested in Chinese culture, Chinese art, and Chinese people. I met some Chinese people in Italy, and I always get close to them very easily. Even we are so far, we are able to talk very easily and nicely. We had a very good understanding right away. So in 1986, I stopped my study in the academy, and I decided to move to China for a big trip.
Inspired by Matteo Ricci's experience, the 21-year-old Italian art student boarded a Beijing-bound train in 1986, a journey that would take a week. In Beijing, he met Si Tujie, a renowned sculptor at the Central Academy of Arts. He was then introduced to other professors and students at the academy. By 2010, Cimarelli was in Shanghai working at a cultural institute. His expertise and experience had caught the attention of the Italian government, and they proposed for him to do a sculpture of Matteo Ricci.
Matteo Ricci was coming very close to my town from Macerata. For me, when I came to China for the first time, I got a big inspiration by Matteo Ricci. His attitude, his way of traveling, his way of thinking, it was very inspiring, even though he was not an artist. As a person, he's amazing personality. So always I was thinking about this wonderful person and what he did as a bridge between the Western culture and the Chinese culture. So when they offered me this opportunity, I was really excited. I said, of course, I would do it.
The sculpture proved to be challenging. For authenticity, Cimarelli switched from the usual Italian ceramic to the more Chinese style of porcelain, a material he had never worked with before. And to help, he even moved town from Shanghai to Jingdezhen, China's porcelain city. From materials to design, everything was different from what Cimarelli had learned in Italy.
So porcelain for me is an understanding of the culture of China, an understanding of a way of living, a way of working. So for me to choose porcelain is a step forward closer to the Chinese culture. So that's why I decided to move from Shanghai to Jingdezhen, which is the most important city for porcelain here. It was not easy to do that because it was far away, it was in the countryside. But it was an amazing, incredible experience. I was so excited to understand, to put together my Italian experience, my Western experience with the Chinese technique with porcelain.
After 6 months, the sculpture was ready. Ali says he's happy with the result. It was displayed in the Italian Pavilion at the Shanghai Expo in 2010 and collected by the Shanghai Italian Center in 2013. In his 30 years in China, the Italian says he had seen China change greatly through opening up, economic development, and the Olympics in 2008. A new driver of change is the Belt and Road Initiative. But with so much attention and investment going into the initiative, Cimarelli says it is important to remember the original wasn't just about trade, but also ideas and culture. And if there is one symbol of what cultural exchange really is, a statue made in Chinese porcelain by Italian hands of the first man inside the Forbidden Palace could just be it.
In southwest China's Tibet Autonomous Region, tanka painting is a traditional style of Tibetan Buddhist row painting. As a Buddhist art form, tanka paintings are often hung on the walls of the homes of Tibetan families for worship. Here's a look.
50-year-old Nubu Sida is a tanka painter in Lhasa. He said the skills for tanka paintings are now mainly passed down through family and learning from peers. Sida first learned tanka principles from his grandfather at the age of 12 and has been painting for almost 30 years. 5 generations of family have followed the traditional Minsa school of tanka paintings.
Nowadays, interference and development of tanka art has improved very much. 4 main painting schools have been enrolled into the list of intangible cultural heritage in the country. On the other hand, we have also established the next generation of the art, and they will learn the craftsmanship through a teaching system. The works of our most experienced masters have been well recognized in the market, so as works of the mid-aged craftsmen and young generation. In my opinion, this is maybe the best time for the development of tanka.
Sida said creating tanka paintings requires extreme patience and precision. Tankas are always painted with mineral and organic pigments derived from minerals such as coral, sapphire, pearl, and gold, and the color on the paintings can last for centuries. In 2012, Sida opened a school for tanka painting, offering free classes ever since. More than 300 tanka craftsmen have graduated from the school.
云天无际，承载梦想。中国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第3，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。 蓝天壮志情，云海谱华章。
专业的团队，丰厚的经验。
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Lake Cook Law Group.
投资理财、法律咨询，芝加哥专业律师团队为您的梦想提供最安全的保障。
This is Little Chinese Channel, 小小中文, Lesson 39. From this lesson on, we will be studying 40 radicals. If basic characters are like people, then radicals are like uniforms. When a basic character is matched with a different radical, we can make different characters. Basic characters and radicals are all building blocks. In this lesson, we will be studying these 5 radicals. For the first radical, we use a horizontal stroke and a stroke like this. This radical is called 三框栏,三框栏,三框栏,三框栏. Looks like an alligator mouth. This radical is often at the left of a character. Here are some examples of what 三框栏 can make. For the next radical, we use a vertical stroke and a stroke like this. This radical is called 同字框,同字框,同字框,同字框 comes from the character 同, which means same. 同字框 is the building block of these characters. 同字框 looks like an upside down cup. It is often at the top of characters. For the third radical, we use 2 dots. Dao ba tou, dao ba tou, dao ba tou, dao ba tou comes from the character ba, which means 8. Dao ba tou looks like little bunny ears and is often at the top of characters. Here are some examples of what dao ba tou can make. For the next radical, we use a downstroke to the left and a stroke like this. This radical is called 包字头, 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 包字头 comes from the character 包, which means direct. 包字头 is often at the top right of characters. Here are some characters that 包字头 is a building block of. For the last radical, we use a dot and a horizontal stroke. This radical is called 点横头, 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 点横头. Looks like a book with an apple on top of it. 点横头 is often at the top of a character. Here are some examples of what 点横头 can make. Okay, it's time to write. Remember when you're writing to follow the stroke sequence. San Kuang Wan, 头字框 到八头 包字头 点横头 Bye-bye, the lesson is done.